Hello, everybody. This is my week 4, module 4, backend development part 1 work that I have completed for this week. To start this week, we were asked to do a little bit of research on what we were doing and why we were doing it. So we chose Node.js to set up an environment because it is an open source environment that is free and it utilizes JavaScript, so making it easier for us to build complex and powerful apps a lot quicker. And then on top of that, we chose to use Express, which is basically just a framework for that open source environment that is specifically a application framework that just gives us access to robust tools and different features for different web apps and mobile apps alike. Those together just, again, makes this whole process a little bit faster and more efficient. Node Express together is very flexible and versatile, and there's a large community of support kind of behind that. And all of those research points are kind of mentioned and laid out in my README document that I'll show you a little bit later. But to prove our skills on backend this week, we were asked to create a couple of endpoints using Git and posts. So I'll show you those right now utilizing Postman. The first one I'll show you is the hello command. I've already had it fired. We'll fire it again. We see we get hello world and says what port we're listening in down here in our terminal. Next one is a status. This actually is going into the .env file that I'll show you later, but it's getting that port name that I named local port, and then the number that I chose, which is 1100. Error. This is a server error message, just generally setting up how we would send errors and what that message might look like and how we can tailor it. This is actually an email list. And again, just to show you that it is actually running and cycling each time we're going to get an error. So just compiling an email list for bulk email sends. Contact us. This is actually going to utilize information that the customer gave us and then send them back a response message. So the customer entered his name, Tyler Smith, and then he said I need an elevator after my leg day at the gym. We fire that, then he's going to get a message. Thank you, Tyler Smith, for contacting us. Your message has been received and we will be in contact shortly for further information that maybe help us give you better service. And like I said, then I also provided him with, this is what you actually sent us, which is his name, how he spelled everything, and then what his actual message kind of was. Went a little extra, but more is good sometimes. For region average, here it's actually going to filter a bunch of information based on the region that we choose to select. So we'll start in the south. When it does that, it's going to display the region that we actually chose. It'll show us the average rating for agents in that region, as well as the average fee for those agents. No agents found in the West. We have some in the East. We see their average rating and their average fee changing there. And last but not least, the Great North. Right. And then the very last function, we created a calc-res function based off of math that was appreciated earlier on by the clients in week 2. So based on the values that the customer would actually input on the quote form, we will then generate a response that gives them their base price, the installation percentage, the total price altogether, as well as the number of elevators they need. So to demonstrate this, 100, and let's start at the bottom, or at the top, I guess. Celium, the best you can get. So they need 2 elevators. here's the cost for each elevator, the percent for the install fee, and then what that total price is actually going to come to for those two elevators. We still need same number of elevators, but we see the price changing. Standard. And then if they were to enter something a little bit wrong, they're going to get a message saying what was valued or entered incorrectly. Please insert a number for the floor's input. Okay, well, when I did that, now what happens? Oh, now it's number of apartments. So tried to cover all our bases there. Yeah. On the back end side, what some of this stuff looks like I said, here's the README file that I created with just some of those background research information. In this app, JS, this is where we're doing most of our work. We set up the environment, imported our .env settings here, set up body parser and a couple other things that we're going to utilize down below. Some of that including information that we have stored on app data and app calc. So we imported certain information that we knew we were going to need later on, and then we created some of those endpoints. Here's the hello, here's the status, air, email list, the contact us, the region av, starting here. And then last but not least, the calc res. As you can see, the calc res is a little bit shorter than all the others. It doesn't mean less is happening, but all the math for that is actually over here where I created the actual function calc res in the app calc file. I created the function, wrote everything out with the math, and then I actually exported that, which you can see is what I imported, right over here in imports. Calc res from app calc. All this information came from app data. Here's the list of agents with all their fee information and region and ratings, all of that. We created different arrays. Here's some of the prices that I set that were used then in the app calc. So like I said, we exported some of that information. It's either imported on the top of this page or on the top of app, wherever we needed it. And that is my week 4, module 4. Thank you.